Hey everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. We've got a slightly new setup here. We've moved house and yeah, I've set up some lights. Looks kind of professional, kind of like a proper YouTuber. Anyway, the point of this video is a little challenge for myself. Hopefully it will kind of get rid of any fears or anything that anyone has out there who's looking to get started in photography and build their own portfolio. So the challenge for this video is to build an entire portfolio, roughly 30 to 40 images, good images, in 1 week. Okay, so I guess the first question is it even possible? I've spent probably 8 years building my current portfolio. How can I go and build a whole new one in the space of 1 week? Really, I just wanted to do it for myself and also to show other people that when you knuckle down and do it, it is actually possible to build a portfolio out, because often fear of failing is something that stops people doing it completely. It'll definitely get me out there, get me shooting, and hopefully create some nice images. So the first challenge with this was kind of figuring out what to include and what not to include. So I had a look at my own existing portfolio. The 3 things that are in my current portfolio are probably sports, lifestyle, and portraiture. So I'm going to focus around those 3 things. To make this accessible to everyone, I'm going to use very minimal kit, just one reflector, which is lying about here somewhere, and the Canon 5D Mark IV. I know the 5D Mark IV is not minimal kit. I know it's kind of a top of the range DSLR at the moment. Don't hate on me for that. Just use what you have, use these techniques, and you'll get somewhere, I promise. I'm going to start with portraiture. Something that I've done in the past is got in touch with local modelling agencies or talent agencies to see if they've got any new models, new faces in need of some new headshots. So first things first is to send a bunch of emails and get in touch with them. There's always a ton of models or people looking to get into modelling kicking around in pretty much every town. Just do a little bit of research on Instagram, find local models or local good looking people. They don't even have to be good looking, just have to be nice pictures. I want this to be as simple and effective as possible. So no makeup artist, just come as they are, wear their own clothes, shoot some portraits. Okay, so secondly would be the sport element. I guess that's kind of where I specialise or where I choose to focus on. Although that is what is in my existing portfolio, a lot of the tips and strategies in this video is totally transferable, whether it's sport you shoot, whether it's automotive, architecture, adventure, whatever it is. You can use the same techniques here to build yourself a portfolio. A lot of athletes are looking to push themselves, either they've got their own websites or they're pushing themselves on Instagram. So any extra images, that trade between me giving them pictures for free and them kind of modeling for my portfolio works really well. Okay, and thirdly is the lifestyle stuff. So this is something that when I was thinking out this video and when I was kind of finalizing the 3 categories of sport, portraiture, and lifestyle, lifestyle is the one that has got me worried a little bit, because usually with my lifestyle stuff, it's for either clothing brands and we shoot in a nice location and there's sunshine and there's a couple of models and the clothes look great and everything's happy and a lot more put together than this video is going to be. So I had a little think about it, and something that I've done in the past is just got in touch with local craftspeople, artisans, someone with a talent or someone who leads an interesting life, got in touch with them and asked if they would just be up for shooting some stuff. A couple of years ago, I got in touch with a local tattoo artist called Mo Copoletta. He has an awesome tattoo studio called The Family Business. They do some incredible stuff. He's almost like a celebrity in his own right. I got in touch with them and said, look, I want to just shoot tattoo artists. I'll come by for the day. You guys go about your business. I'll shoot you as you go and we'll shoot some portraits. That all went well. Lo and behold, Mo had just bought a house around the corner, this fantastic place. Obviously he has incredible taste. He was like, come round to my house, we'll do some portraits, and I shot some little bits around his house and it turned out fantastic. So that's the goal for the lifestyle stuff. I'm gonna get in touch with a bunch of different artisans and craftspeople like that. If I can make something like that work, that would be fantastic, because those pictures are still some of my favorite pictures I've done as part of personal work. But for now, I'm going to get on the emails, I'm going to get on the DMs, and I will report back when we've got something booked in. Okay, here we are on the way to our first shoot. I spent yesterday emailing loads of different modelling agencies, loads of different athletes and such, and also lifestyle places, makers, creatives, all that stuff. trying to get some stuff sorted. It just so happened when I was making this video on day one that Reese, who is a sprinter that I've worked with in the past, put up a status on Facebook saying, I really wish I was shooting more stuff. Well, lo and behold, I was like, let's do it. Let's go and shoot some cross-country running. Well, I've shot with him on the track a couple of times, but let's mix it up. Let's go to Surrey, let's shoot in the hills, let's shoot at sunrise. So it's 6 AM right now. I was on the emails yesterday to some modelling agencies to try and get some new faces and stuff for Friday. We've got that absolutely stacked, so at least that's the second shoot organised. And one of the modelling agencies also represents sports people, so I said, by any chance, do you have any cyclists who live around Surrey? And yes, we've got someone arranged for 11, so that's 2 shoots today and a bunch of different headshots for Friday. Still some way to go. I've been in touch with a lot of jewellers and makers and things like that, but as for now, 6 AM, let's get to Surrey, let's dodge this London traffic. We're into our second shoot day. We have this grey backdrop set up in the flat and just a reflector and some daylight. We've got through 2 shoots so far with Anne and Carla from Milk Model Management. So I think what I said earlier in the video was about how I just spent some time emailing different agencies, and today we've stacked a bunch of portrait sessions. So a real simple setup today, but you can still get some great shots. Thankfully, so far on the first two girls took some really cool clothing with them. I just said to the agent to just take what they would normally wear and some basic stuff. The basics kind of cover you as far as like in case they wear some weird shit. So we've got 3 more people to shoot. That'll be day 2 and the 3rd shoot of this. We're getting tight for time as far as doing it in 1 week, but the great thing about this so far, regardless of how this goes, it's about pushing yourself to just get out there and shoot new stuff and try new stuff, meet new people and not use contacts that you already have. So in that aspect, so far it's going fantastically well. Wow, what a journey I have been on with this video. We are now launching further forward in time from when that was filmed. I actually started making this video and started on this project in December. So that first clip where I'm sat right here, that was December, and it's now into April. So a lot of things have happened, a lot of life happening and getting in the way. If you're watching this in April, I'm sure you're aware of all the stuff that is going on in the world. But let's jump back to shooting the 3rd part of this. So we'd done sports, we'd done portraiture. So pleased with the images that I got from there, both the sports and the portraiture stuff. That day up in Box Hill with Lee and Alan the cyclist, we got some fantastic images. The lighting, the sky was just so kind to us. But anyway, let's just jump forward to day number 3, shoot number 3, or a bunch of shoots at least falling under this lifestyle category. So one of the big difficulties that I found when I first started this video in December was getting in touch with jewelers, makers, artisans, craftspeople. It was December, they were flooded with orders, and although I got a lot of people getting back in touch with me, a lot of them were talking about how swamped they were with work in the build up to Christmas and how they would love to shoot some images but please wait till January. So in the end, that's what we did. That's why there's been a little delay in this video. When I say little, it's probably been about 4 months. So I shot with 3 great sets of artisans or craftspeople. Firstly, a shot with a company called Freed of London. Now this came from a recommendation on Instagram. I put a little story up asking if anyone knew of any artisans that I could shoot with, and Freed were one of the suggestions that I got. Turns out they're one of the premier point shoe makers, so ballet shoe makers in the world. They're like really well renowned for their point shoes. So that piqued my interest. I got in touch with them. There was a little back and forth in email. I guess they just wanted to check out that I was legit and what my intentions were for the images, and also if they could use the images on their social and blog and stuff, which I was more than happy to oblige. After all, they're giving me their time. I'm getting access to these world-class craftspeople. Yeah, I was only more than happy for them to use the images. So it turns out they are just based along the road in Hackney, and I went along and shot some great images there. I was so pleased with how they turned out, and I learned a lot about point shoes, which I never thought I would say. The second shoot that I got done for this lifestyle category was with a company called The Great Frog. Now these guys make some insane gothic rock style inspired jewellery coming out of London in the 60s and 70s. The original founder of the company making just like big skull rings for rock bands such as Judas Priest and Black Sabbath, and they've really just grown in stature since then. So I went and shot with those guys. It was really interesting to see how their workshop is set up. In the store that I went to there was like quite a big group of jewelers. I think there was about 6 or 7 people on at the time, and they all had separate jobs throughout the creation of each ring, and they operated on a much bigger scale. So although it was a different type of shoot than what I was looking for, I was looking to kind of have a sort of one-on-one experience with a creator, with an artisan, with a craftsperson, call it what you will. It was still really interesting to see, and the amount of jewellery that these guys create in any given day and the level that it's consistently at. Like with a lot of these projects, like with all the shoots in this video, every shoot I've met someone interesting, got some great images, learned something about them, and kind of come away not just with great images, but with a new knowledge. And that's another great point for doing projects like this, getting in touch with strangers, just reaching out, and just not only are you expanding your portfolio, but you're also meeting new people, and who knows what opportunities can arise from that. And the third craftsperson that I shot was a guy called Matthew, who runs a company called Saffron Frameworks. Now obviously, being a keen cyclist myself, this was of huge interest to me, and I kind of knew what to expect here. But Saffron Frameworks are really well known for their steel frames and some of the stuff they do. It's fully custom bike builds, fully custom frame builds, so it was really interesting to go around there and see Matthew at work and see the sort of stuff he does. Again, the emails were kind of similar. It was a little bit like, look, I'm just looking to expand my portfolio. You guys can use the images for whatever you want. That is the payoff that you have to sign up for there. You have to kind of let people use images for whatever they want, because as it turns out, some of the conversations that I had with Matthew at Saffron, he said, you know, he does get a lot of emails like this. He does like to check people out before he kind of invites them into his studio, because he has had a lot of time wasters before. He's had people take up a full day of his work. Obviously he can't produce as much as he normally would, or concentrate as much as he normally would, and he's not really seen the fruits of those shoots. So you have to be fully committed to what you're doing, see the project through, as I am with this video, and just put your subject's mind at ease that you're going to work to your highest standards, and they're going to see the work quickly. There's going to be a quick turnaround. They've got nothing to worry about. They're going to get some free market material, and happy days for all involved. So that brings us to the end of this video. It feels like it has been a massive journey. I hope it hasn't come across too disjointed in the video, and if you made it this far, thanks very much for sticking with it. I'm hoping that this inspires you to go out and really bring on your own portfolio, or develop your own portfolio a little further. I know at the time of uploading this video, the world is in a bit of a funny place, but there are plenty of people who are still willing to shoot, or at least arrange shoots for when all the restrictions are lifted. I've definitely had a lot of conversations recently with people who are kind of taking stock of where they are, whether that's models, makeup artists, or otherwise businesses and beyond, who are kind of taking this time to evaluate their own businesses or their own brands and arrange for things to be in place when they can shoot more and when they can shoot freely. So don't let the current situation stop you from reaching out to people. In fact, chances are you have more time on your hands to get in touch with people, reach out to people, have those conversations, have those video calls or emails or phone calls, and get shoots in place for when we can. So the whole point in this video was to create a portfolio in 1 week. Okay, it's been a few months now to say the least, but we have pretty much got there, I reckon. We shot over 5 days in total, got plenty of images I think. Usually a good portfolio you want about 30 to 40 images I think. And I have put together a portfolio using only the images shot for this video. If you would like to download that portfolio, there is a link below. It'll sign you up to a mailer, you'll receive the portfolio, and also you'll continue to receive tricks and tips, probably on a monthly basis. I'm looking to start this mailer for the viewers of the channel to help people develop their own photography in all the ways that I can possible. So sign up for that. You'll see the final PDF portfolio for that. I think it came together really nicely. We got some great images from this. My personal highlights would be the frame builder, some of the images that we shot on the first day in the Surrey Hills, and we got some brilliant portraits from our little portrait session that we shot in the living room as well, which just goes to show you don't need a huge amount of kit. All I used for these images were possibly a reflector, a backdrop for the portraits, and just a camera. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. For more like this, be sure to subscribe, give this a little thumbs up if you made it this far, and I will see you guys on the next one. Thanks for watching.